Welcome to the Breaking News Show by eTurbo News. For more episodes, go to breakingnewsshow.com. Stay tuned for the latest. Chaos in Bangladesh's army takes over after PM flees. Bangladeshi PM's sudden resignation and flight come after several weeks of intense protests and riots that have swept across the South Asian nation. The Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, has resigned and fled the country today using a military helicopter, as the protesters stormed the palace, forcibly entered the Prime Minister's residence in Dhaka, and called for her to step down from her position. The student demonstrations first erupted a month ago following a contentious government job reservation policy that gave preference to the offspring of war veterans, as decreed by the Bangladesh High Court. In response to the protests, Hasina's administration enforced a countrywide curfew, implemented a mobile internet blackout, closed down colleges, and deployed the military and riot police to scatter the protesters. Over the subsequent weeks, numerous individuals, predominantly students, purportedly perished in confrontations involving demonstrators, law enforcement, and pro-government supporters, with thousands being taken into custody. Bangladeshi PM's sudden resignation and flight come after several weeks of intense protests and riots that have swept across the South Asian nation, and led to numerous casualties as demonstrators have clashed with law enforcement, prompting the announcement by the nation's army chief that an interim government would soon be established. During the press conference today, the chief of the Bangladesh Army, Waqar-Uzzaman, declared that Hasina had stepped down from her position, paving the way for the establishment of a new interim government to oversee the nation. He urged the protesters to disperse and return to their homes, emphasizing the importance of maintaining faith in the army, which is committed to restoring order. Zaman also assured that a thorough investigation would be conducted into the fatalities that have occurred during the recent weeks of unrest and requested that the demonstrators allow the army some time to work towards resolving the ongoing crisis. According to the army chief, all major political parties' representatives have been asked to participate in establishing the interim government and are currently engaged in talks with the military. He added that imposing a curfew or declaring a state of emergency is unnecessary, and he has instructed the army to refrain from using force while urging the demonstrators to assist in restoring peace. The news of Hasina's resignation seems to have been well received by the protesters, as they were seen cheering in the streets following Zaman's announcement. Nevertheless, the Students Against Discrimination group, which has been at the forefront of the anti-government demonstrations, responded to the army chief's statement by stating that they would reject military rule. The group insisted that power should be handed over to the revolutionary students and citizens and that any other scenario would not be accepted. The group's coordinators posted on Facebook, demanding the release of all innocent people and political prisoners by the end of the day. They further declared their intention to dismantle Hasina's government and the fascist system in order to establish a new political order in Bangladesh. The group asserted that they will not retreat from the streets until they achieve ultimate victory. Thank you for listening. Watch and listen to more episodes on breakingnewsshow.com.